but for $20, I had to try, and I'm gonna keep trying it.
Yeah.
The colors are sick.
Yeah.
It's USB-C, which took Logitech years to finally switch to.
Yeah.
It can do 2 Bluetooth connections and the USB dongle, which
Yeah.
I'm always a dongle person. I think it's easier.
This is our little show and tell segment that we're doing this week. So we just figured we wanted. Yep. We very rarely get to talk about products that we're like individually using because this is mostly a news show. And I kind of wanted to talk about a new tripod that I've been using a lot recently.
What tripod?
You this morning were like, I really want to talk about this. Can we do show and tell? And I was like, wait, I actually do have something that I just got that I want to talk about.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
So let's do it. Let's start tripod.
Okay, so if you are a photographer or in the photography community, you've probably heard of Peak Design. They
Never heard of
are
them.
very high quality, quite expensive brand that creates what they would call peak design.
Oh my
That's
god!
their
I
words,
never
not mine.
Realized that.
It's like I think it's like a double entendre, like peak, like mountain, but
Yeah,
also
that's
like
always how I
great,
took
the
it.
best. I don't know. Anyway, I have had their original travel tripod for a really, really, really long time, basically since it came out. I believe it was like 2018, 2017, 2018.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Something like that. I have the carbon fiber one, which is too expensive. It is $600. It's really expensive, but it's basically the best super lightweight tripod that I've used. I keep it. I do a lot of hiking, so I like keep it in my backpack, and it's very easy to just slap my cameras on, and
It just like tucks into pretty much like your water bottle holder on the
Yeah.
side pretty easy, because who needs water on hikes when you can have a $600 tripod instead?
yeah,
But like it's one of those things that can simultaneously be too expensive and also just like
really, really high quality.
the best thing ever if that's
Exactly.
the scenario you have it in.
Yeah, and they do have an aluminum version of this, which is not that much heavier and it's much cheaper. So, that's still also a good option. Anyway, this has been around for a very long time. It does have some quirks and features. And that is why they eventually made this new one called it's the Peak Design Pro line of tripods. So this is the small one. For some reason, Peak Design made 3 of the new Pro tripods.
Do you know what the differences are between them?
Yeah, so it's mostly that they hold different amounts of weight and
Okay.
also can get taller and shorter and stuff like that. This is the small one. So this will be compared to the original tripod right here, if you want to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if
this
people...
is like significantly bigger than I
It's-
thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it is quite a bit bigger. So for me, the one problem that I have always had with the original, well, not one problem, maybe the biggest problem I've had with the original travel tripod is that I shoot 4x5 film pretty often. 4x5 film is like one of those large view cameras that you would see in like the 1940s. And when I would use this, it would have some shake because those cameras are very big. These tripods are not really made for like big payloads. So I think part of the reason that Peak Design got into this market segment was that they wanted to probably tackle people that are using like way heavier duty, harder core cameras. And then there are just some engineering things with the original tripod that they made better. So for example, it has this quick lock mechanism that allows you to just like displace they have a little mount that is kind of like standard to them. And it looks like this.
The tripod mount that goes on the camera. Like
That
the
goes on the
original one's
camera.
square. It's very small. But
Yeah.
I liked what it was. My biggest complaint about it
Yeah.
was the little area that they hold the Allen wrench for it.
Yes.
The Allen wrench fell
Always.
out.
I have lost
Yours is
it.
missing. I
Mine
noticed
is
that.
missing.
Yeah.
And you do need an Allen wrench in order to put this on your camera.
Put the screw into it.
So what I've ended up doing, I'm not going to show my keys on camera because people always yell at me about that, but I've put an Allen wrench on my keychain. So
Nice.
I constantly have an Allen wrench with me. Anyway, some of the problems that the original tripod had is that if you raise the head here, and I'm sorry if this is really boring to non-camera people, but if you raise the head here and you want to like put it at an angle, you can only... Wait, what was it?
So it's a ball head.
Yeah, it's a ball. Wait,
And there's like these 3 different dividers essentially that fall down into the tripod when it's tucked all the way in.
right.
And sometimes that makes turning it sideways
Kind of
difficult because it kind of gets in the way.
yeah, it can kind of get in the way.
Assuming that's what you're talking about.
So this new one is more of a standard ball head where you can just pivot and twist in like many different directions. So that's very handy.
Yeah,
you
it
can just go
spins.
360 instead of having to jam in there. That's very useful. The big thing about the 4x5 cameras though is that this, because the 4x5 is so big and it's not super heavy, but it does have a lot of surface area, it would shake a lot when it was windy on like a mountain. And that was very frustrating because there's no optical image stabilization on 4x5 film, obviously. So even the most like micro shake would mess up the image. These are much more stable. Even the small one is like super stable. They also re-engineered the center column to add a bunch of different features. They changed the clips a little bit. Overall, it's kind of just like a much more sturdy system. Also, when you're clipping in the camera, it now has the spring-loaded mechanism.
I was just messing with this.
Yeah.
The spring-loaded mechanism for the tripod mount on a camera attaching feels super nice.
It feels really good. So yeah, effectively you like unlock it by pulling this, and it pulls up this little tab that when you put the plate in, it snaps it closed.
David, into the mic,
talking
please.
to your mic a little
Oh,
bit.
sorry.
He's getting too
And it
excited.
locks it in. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love tripods. And it like locks it in, and then they have an extra locker right here. So I don't know. Everything about these tripods is definitely about like stability and being able to shoot things without any shake and stuff like that. They made the clips a little bit easier to use because unclipping and clipping a tripod always takes forever. Yeah. So I've been really enjoying this. I don't love how big it is. Like you cannot really beat this original tripod size because this can fit in like basically any water bottle pocket of any backpack that I have. Whereas the new Pro ones definitely are bulkier, even the small one. For some reason, they made it in a small, medium, and large form. The large makes a lot of sense because it's for like giant payload. Like they're trying to get into the cinema kind of landscape. They sell a fluid head adapter that makes it so you can use it as a fluid head tripod. But I don't really understand why they made the medium one, because the small and the medium are almost exactly the same size, and they go up in size in prices of $100. So they call it Pro Light, Pro, and Pro Tall. So I don't really know. But overall, like this has made my photography a lot more reliable, I guess, specifically with my 4x5 camera.
I can see, like, I understand it being larger, and the main problem you have with it is shake and stability. So like making it larger is probably the only way to really fix that. And I would argue if you're carrying something like your 4x5 camera, you probably aren't trying to be in like this level of light payload where like this could be, I took this tripod with me and just like a Sony A7R.
Right.
With other hiking stuff.
And
so like to me it was just part of the pack, and then like not too bad. But seeing this, I think it's really cool. They obviously, I mean, Peak's quality is always absolutely at the top of its game. This looks like they solved a bunch of the issues, but seeing it and seeing its side just makes me still like the original one.
The original one
I'd rather just
great.
throw it. It's
so pocketable.
It's so small. So like when you are somebody, and I see this now all the time watching like disc golf YouTube of people like lugging tripods around all over a disc golf course, like you want a really small one, but the problem is all the really small ones are really flimsy.
Yeah.
They nailed their target demographic
For sure.
with this one, despite its price. I think getting into the bigger game, when you talk about the larger one and huge payloads and cinema stuff, is like we have really good cinema tripods already. That feels like a crowded space.
For sure.
I'm sure Peak Design can get into it. But
I think it's probably for people that like everything that they own is in the Peak Design ecosystem.
That's
like
fair.
they have built out quite an ecosystem
sure.
that uses all of their things and they interlock with each other, and they've got all these features. But yeah, I think for like most people, the original one, even the aluminum one, is like more than great. This is really going to be if you have specific use cases like me with the 4x5.
Yeah.
So
the travel tripod feels like I'm packing it with other things. The Pro tripods feel like my pack is all cameras.
Yeah.
That's all that's in
has
my
been
pack.
me for a while now.
Well, yeah, but that's because you sacrifice the rest of
back.
survival things for your cameras.
That's true. I'm having lower back problems, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know. For my book, it's been great.
No, I mean, this is sick.
Yeah, and it can get a little bit tighter down too because of that redesigned center column.
Yeah, the center column seems way larger,
Oh.
which is the best part about it.
Also, when the original one was all the way down like this, it couldn't tilt at all. So the only way to bring it up, you had to loosen it, bring it up to here, tighten it, and then it could rotate. But that means it can't go quite as low. Whereas this one can tilt even when it's all the way down.
It's on its lowest stage.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Do you know what I appreciate? Even though this is the Pro version, it still has the little hidden cell phone holder.
So this has always been a really cool feature. In the bottom, there's a hook. Generally on tripods, that hook is for stability. So you put like a backpack on the hook, and that basically just adds a bunch of weight to the tripod so that it shakes less. And I still do that. The hook on the bigger one is obviously bigger. But inside of that column, they have a secret little cell phone holder that you can put on the tripod. So if you want to do like Astro mode on your Pixel or something, you can now use the tripod with your Pixel instead of having to buy a brand new tripod just for phones.
That's cool.
So I think that's really cool. Also, obviously, we talked about you need an Allen key, which is very kind of frustrating because you can lose it pretty easily, and they have a clip on the tripod itself to store the Allen key. In the new ones, the bags now have a slot for the Allen key. So I think that they want you to keep
it in the bag
more. The previous bag had like 2 microns of extra room.
It was like putting a sleeping bag back in like a sleeping bag or like a tent back in that bag.
So hard to get it in and out. So the new one has a slot in there, and they gave it a little more slack. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I've been doing a lot of mountain climbing recently, and I've been using this a lot. So yeah,
nice.
They're still on Kickstarter right now, though. So
what's the final price? Did you say it?
Yeah, they're really expensive. They're like really expensive. So the Pro Lite is going to be $800. The Pro is going to be $900, and then the Pro Tall, they call it, because I think it just gets taller, is going to be $1,000. So yeah, really expensive. They're also selling a lot of new accessories with these. They have a new leveling base for people who like that, and they have spiked feet for $49.
Oh, it does have the level on it.
Yeah, it has a level.
Oh yeah, both of them have level.
Yeah,
okay.
But a leveling base is like that weird like cage thing that you can use with cameras. It's like it's kind of an old school like hardcore photographer feature. Then they have spiked feet. So I guess if you're, in the mountains and you want to like really, really, really rig it down, I guess if you were doing like a really, really long exposure and you just wanted it to not, overnight kind of long exposure.
I mean, they co-developed this with Jimmy Chin, so they're gonna do it in a scenario where it's it's lasting out there for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, just want to bring that up real quick.
All right.
What did you have?
I brought something that is significantly cheaper.
Yeah, probably.
And its cheapness is actually part of the reason why I find it interesting.
And probably more useful to more people, I would guess.
Maybe. So my thing is like you wanted to possibly label this section like our favorite things, but I don't want to call this a favorite because
I was mostly kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
you got one of these?
That I saw on The Verge.
You got one of these?
So I think I first saw it on The Verge. It is called the Cinda Ergonomic Mouse Rechargeable USB Dual Bluetooth MOU 302 Vertical Wireless Mouth with Volume Knob.
Some Amazon ass
There's actually
title.
more to that, but I don't feel like saying all of it. Essentially, it's a vertical ergonomic wireless mouse.
I love the colors.
That comes in some wild colors. I bought arguably the coolest color, which is like purple, yellow, and like a vintagey green. Like this feels very like
it's like a turquoise,
like Rocco's Modern Life,
or like a sea
vibes.
Seafoam green.
And what? So I saw it because of the color and because of the integrated volume knob. So essentially, the mouse, because it's vertical and ergonomic, it's the buttons are almost sideways, and you hold it like you're holding a glass of water, essentially, where you're kind of pinching it in between your hand. And then on the top, now it's got extra space. There's still a front and back button on the sides of it where your thumb rests, but above it, there's a little knob that clicks in and can turn. That's what intrigued me by it, is the colors in that knob.
Then what? Shaking in his boots. He hates knobs.
What really intrigued me though is when I clicked on the link for it, it was on sale for $19.59.
That's crazy.
With the list price at $27.99.
That's crazy.
I don't know how they're making money off of this.
Yeah.
I'm by no means saying the build quality on this is great. I wouldn't even say it's very good.
Yeah, I would say it feels like it's $20.
It feels like it's $20, but when you look at a Logitech, I think they have the Logitech Lift and the Logitech vertical are
those
two
are-
of theirs, and they're like 80 and like over $100
Yeah.
for them. And they're great mice. And like people like Rich here love them. I don't love vertical ergonomic mice, but I'm trying.
Apparently, it's
this
way
one
better
out.
to get rid of your carpal tunnel.
We'll see. If it stresses me out more than my carpal tunnel, then but I think there's some design flaws in this. I think the reason I want to be really cautious about talking about this is because I've used it for less than a week, and I don't know the durability of it.
Sure.
But for $20, I had to try, and I'm gonna keep trying it.
Yeah.
The colors are sick.
Yeah.
It's USB-C, which took Logitech years to finally switch to.
Yeah.
It can do 2 Bluetooth connections and the USB dongle, which
Yeah.
I'm always a dongle person. I think it's easier. Just like a little, USB-A.
Yeah.
The things I have not liked about it is I don't believe there's any software. So I cannot change what the
love that, to be
volume
honest.
knob. I can't change what the volume knob does, which really sucks for me because I'm using an audio interface, which means my volume keys don't do anything when I'm plugged into my desktop.
Okay.
So the volume knob does nothing for
Also,
me.
how do you deal with sensitivity?
There are 3 DPI modes,
Oh.
and then you also can just change sensitivity inside of macOS or whatever.
How's the latency when you're playing old school RuneScape?
I was gonna say you should play Valorant with this.
I'm definitely not playing.
I mean,
I should try Valorant with it. That would be hilarious. How bad it would be.
Kind of like the way it feels. I'd say that the sliders on the bottom are horrible. Like it feels like it's kind of like there's a lot of.
It felt
weird
fine on my
friction.
mouse pad.
Yeah, maybe the mouse pad would be better than this.
My biggest gripe with it, and we found this out when we were comparing it to Rich, is the Logitech Verticals where your mouse rests almost has like a bed for your thumb to rest on where it juts out. This is just straight down, and you're kind of like always gripping this mouse. I say it's kind of like if you're a climber, like pinch holds. You're always pinching this. You're not really resting your hand on the mouse at all, which is comfortable, I think.
Yeah.
Which makes you really have to think about using it. I've been kind of enjoying it. I find myself doing way more wrist movements than like whole arm movements to move things to go around and click on stuff. It's taken a really long time to get used to vertical mouse. It feels really strange. They're silent buttons, which is a lot of what like the MX Master's been doing now. I think they actually feel kind of nice.
Yeah.
Scroll wheel feels like but I don't really care that much. It's $19 and it works. The knob doesn't feel bad. It's cheap
like the
plastic, but it's got some like nice feedback
The
to it.
tactility of the clicking is nice.
Yeah, and it was essentially plug and play. I plugged it right into my computer and it just started working. I'm assuming it would on a Windows as well, but
Cool. Yeah.
I don't get
know how to use
$19.
for $20. Yeah, that's crazy.
it seems crazy. I do not know what the battery life's yet.
Yeah.
I've charged it once and it's still
I mean,
going after
generally
a few
they last
days.
a very
So
long
yeah,
time, so.
How many colors does it come in?
Yeah, what are the other
4.
colors?
So there's a plain black. There's
Lame.
a pink. What are they even calling this?
What
They
is it?
literally don't even have color. Oh no, they're just calling it pink.
Oh.
Pink, but it's like 2 different types of pink. The buttons and the scroll wheel the buttons and the volume knob are a different color.
Mm-hmm.
This is the purple and green version. They just call it purple. There's a light blue version and there's the straight black version.
That one's definitely
You can
the
also
best
buy
color.
2 packs of these
Really?
for $42.
Wow.
So it's more wait.
Right now, that's more expensive, but it's not more expensive if
Yeah, it's
you're
more
assuming the
expensive.
list price of $27.
Oh.
I don't know how long it'll be this cheap.
Yeah.
If you decide to go out and get this, I cannot promise you how long it will
At
work.
your own
I
risk.
assume it will work as long as $20 is worth. But I was very intrigued by it.
I want to see you game with this.
There's no way I'm gaming.
I
with
need
that.
to see a pro Twitch streamer just using this and
That would be.
clowning on
I'm sure
everyone.
someone's done it, but getting like pro CS players to play it with like crappy mice. I bet the latency on this is
It's probably horrible.
terrible.
Yeah.
Good, but no one buys an ergonomic mouse for like great latency.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
that's it.
That's
the
a good one.
Cinda ergonomic MOU 302.
Seen.
Multiple device cordless mice compatible for Windows, PC, laptop, Mac OS Purple.
Pink.
Cinda.
They make a bunch of other random stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Me
Although, okay, so here's my other thing. This is probably why it's so cheap. I'm almost positive it's just white labeled something because I saw a different, really weird ergonomic mouse that looks like an oven mitt, and it's also vertical.
That looks different though.
This is different, but Cinda makes one that looks exactly like this one, even though that one's from a different company. So I basically found 2 of the exact same mice under 2 different companies I'd never heard of, which makes me just assume this is white labeled from somewhere.
Sounds like one of those Alibaba things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. All right.
Neat.
Cool. Adam.
Yo. All right. I've got 2.
Ooh.
One of them is hardware, one of them is software.
Ooh.
Okay. So for the last few weeks, I have been asked a surprising amount of times, what is this teal thing on the back of my phone?
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, this is a Moft tripod, basically. So it attaches MagSafe to a phone. Now I'm on iPhone, so it attaches perfectly. Last week I was on Pixel, so it attaches to the case. But
it will attach to the Pixel 10.
It will attach to the Pixel 10, allegedly. We'll see in 14 days.
Yeah.
But it's just a little MagSafe stand that like uses resistance to kind of prop itself up. Or if you need to get it taller, you could like kind of fold it all the way out, which is really cool. It has multiple angles and stuff like that. So it's just a really like handy thing to have attached to your phone if you're not going to have anything on MagSafe anyway.
Yeah. My friend Birgit has that, and she does like content creation for a film company.
Yeah.
And it's amazing just watching her just
It's
like
so
prop
clutch.
it up and making stuff all the time.
You know, Peak Design had a really awesome magnetic tripod for a phone, but it was like the proprietary own magnetic connection on their cases, and I just really disliked the fabric on their cases.
Yeah.
The tripod was sick. Like, it was so cool how maneuverable it was and how small it was on the back of the phone, but their tripod case got grody.
The phone case.
The phone case got grody really
Have they
fast.
changed the material of that?
I have no idea. I don't know if they're even still really
They used this really at the beginning. They used this really thin, light material that just kind of disgusting pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it had a lot of like it was like woven. So whenever you have woven stuff like that, it just means so much more dirt and grime. And I liked it because I could film climbing stuff with it, which meant my hands were chalky, which meant that thing in like 2 weeks was disgusting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
All right.
What's your software?
The software that I got, the reason I actually switched back to the iPhone was to try this piece of software. And Brandon put me onto it a couple months ago, which is the Not Boring software suite of things.
Yeah.
So in one of the studio videos, he was talking about his weather app. The developer of that weather app, Andy Allen, makes a bunch of different like utility apps. And basically his whole thing is he takes a app that's pretty much a stock app on the iPhone and just makes it super pretty and cool. So like in the studio video, Brandon was talking about the weather app. He recently released one for a camera. It's like retro camera, and this camera app is just so sick. It's so fun to use.
Not boring camera. Right?
It is not boring at all, and it's almost like, remember we spoke about the X half a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, the Fuji X half.
The Fuji X half, and it's like you use it because it kind of mimics a film camera. Like that was part of the allure of it. Like you can't relook at the photos you use or whatever.
Yeah.
This app kind of does something similar, which is, you know, in the regular camera app, you take a picture, the little preview goes down to like the bottom left and has like a gallery that you can then click to see what that does not exist on this camera app. So it is just the viewfinder, but you can customize the way the camera looks. It's really fun and quirky. There's a bunch of colors and stuff like that. And it does do like the best feature that I personally like about it is that it does have really nice like filters and LUTs and recipes, and you can even import your own LUT if you want. It is a paid app. I believe it's like $14.99 for the year. So like, I don't know, $1 or something a month. But it's like overall a really fun app. You can also save just the straight up raw if you want. So you can take a regular picture in their recipe or whatever and then still have your raw photo saved in the background, which is cool. I prefer that. But so far, I've been really liking it. I've been using it for like a week, and the pictures that I'm getting are like fantastic.
Yeah. I love everything that these guys make.
They're so good.
UI looks really similar to your rendered iPad case from the Shark Tank episode.
Yes, you're right.
A little more colorful, but
it's just a really, I like seeing things that have more intentional design.
Yeah.
And more fun.
Yeah. These guys also make Not Boring Calculator and Not Boring Weather.
Not Boring Habits.
Yeah, when you said a new app they did and I looked
timer.
on their thing and saw Habits, I was like, he's about to talk about Habits.
Oh, that's
So I'm very
next. I have
surprised.
that downloaded as well. That's a good one.
It seems like everything that they make is sort of like the most boring, like utilitarian thing, and they just make it really fun.
They just make it pretty and fun,
I think
which
that's
is one of
cool.
the reasons I'm so excited about, this is not iPhone, but Material 3 Expressive.
Yeah.
Because it's like the whole UI of the phone is that kind of fun material expression.
Yeah.
But apps like these on iPhone that are just like fun to use and look cool.
Yeah, they definitely feel like material.
Yeah, it's more like this is supposed to be fun and whimsical and different.
Yeah.
You know, not like very monotone and clean like the old aesthetic of Apple. So like having this app on an iPhone has just been like a fun, weird experience.
Cool.
So highly recommended.
That's awesome.
I just want to say, hey, Andy, us Android people like to have fun too. I wouldn't mind trying some of these out.
I made a whole episode about why there are so many different iOS apps and no Android
I
apps.
want to have fun.
You're not allowed. You're only allowed to go on.
I'll have a lot of
Apple
fun with
Tap.
my limoncello pistol.
Piss color.
Thanks for watching that clip. Please like and subscribe and do all the engagement things to this post, because I heard if we get over 1 million impressions on this, Marquez will buy me the Microsoft XP Crocs, and that's pretty sweet. So
That'd be awesome.
help me out. Marquez really wants to buy me a pair of Crocs because Marquez loves Crocs also. Hit that like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.